Hey, it's me. This is not a squishy video. Today is a Create This Book video. There are lots of blank pages still left in this book. Let's do some of them. The first page I'm gonna pick out is this one. The directions say, create ugliness out of beauty. Choose something you think is beautiful, find a way to make it ugly. So basically just crush your own dreams. I feel like this page has the potential to get really deep and emotional, but the thing that I chose that I think is really beautiful is ice cream. I mean... You can think anything is beautiful. It's all very relative. What may be beautiful to you may be ugly to somebody else. So this page really just has to do with your own personal taste. The way I'm making a beautiful thing like ice cream ugly is by adding a bunch of gross things to it. Instead of sprinkles,
we have maggots.
Honestly, just disrespectful. Instead of hot fudge, mud, which kind of looks the same as hot fudge anyway, but you know. Oh, and my personal favorite, instead of whipped cream and a cherry, it's an eyeball with a worm wrapped around it. Isn't that just lovely? And then some extra worms crawling through and flowing around. And all of that is just kind of sitting in this moat of maggots and worms, some sort of random blob on the wall, and some cross-hatching. That's the real atrocity right there. What is that? Now that the line work is all done, I'm gonna break out some watercolors, and I'm using this, what do you call it? It's like a brush that holds water in it. It's called a water brush. And then when you squeeze it, the water comes out. Pretty cool. I'm not the best at it, so bear with me while I practice. I went with a nice puke green for the ice cream color. I call this flavor
Hot mud maggot rot.
Personally, I prefer mint chocolate chip. I didn't think to add any super gross details to the actual cone. I guess I could have made it out of something gross like poop? I don't know. But I kind of just kept the cone pretty normal. Sorry if I let you down on that one. I know that some people genuinely like this kind of grunge style. Some people don't like all the rainbow cuteness and cuddly sweetness and sprinkles that I normally do, and that's okay. I mean, you know, if you'd rather have maggots instead of sprinkles,
I'm scared.
Fine, that's okay, be my guest. But that's kind of what this page is about. It's supposed to make you create something unexpected, and in a weird way, I did enjoy making this gross ice cream cone. Oh, if you're wondering what this little thing is, that would be the nerve that's coming from the eyeball, which connects...
Brains.
That's what's missing. I could have added some brains in here somewhere. That would have been nice and gross. Or blood. Scabs. Again, poop is always a classic. I think I have left some key gross ingredients out here. Oh, here's where I make my first mistake. That is way too dark, and it's very red. It's blood! Where's the undo button? That's the thing about watercolor. If you go too dark or lay down the wrong color, it's pretty difficult to correct. It's kind of there. All you can really do is just try to blend it out and even it up a bit. Once the watercolor is dry, I'm going in with my colored pencils. I think if I were better at watercolor, I wouldn't need to use colored pencils at all, but...
I'm not?
I always feel like my watercolor painting job is just really messy. I usually end up going back and trying to clean up the mess I've made, and then I'm gonna add some highlights with some white acrylic paint, which I'm pretty sure is also a no-no, but we're not gonna start doing things correctly now, are we? Oh my gosh!
I can't get it to stop!
Once I'm done with that, I added this weird spot on the cone that looks really dumb. Let's just ignore that. Before I actually put this into the book, I'm gonna apply some matte Mod Podge. This is really for the colored pencils because sometimes the pencil will smudge if it's closed up in a book. So I'm just applying this to keep everything fresh. Well, as fresh as hot mud, maggot, rot ice cream can get. Hello? Hello? Thank you for that riveting conversation. Then I'm gluing it back in the book. I always start by gluing the edge, then stick the page in position in dat crack. And then finish gluing the rest of the page and get the other side in there. trim off any excess, adding the date and my signature, and it's finished. I think this came out pretty,
Gross.
so I'm happy. It's definitely different. This was kind of a challenge for me to step away from
A wire?
my usual cutesy style, but I actually had more fun with it than I anticipated. So the next page I'm gonna do is actually the previous page. It says, create beauty out of ugliness. Choose something you think is ugly, find a way to make it beautiful. So again, I'm using separate paper. I'm choosing a spider as the thing that I think is ugly. My first instinct was to put a giant flower on its head. That was a little much. Then I added hair in like little buns. Can we not? So finally I landed on a giant bow. Yeah, that'll do. And as you may have noticed, this is kind of the reverse of the first prompt that I did. So we start with the ugly thing and then we try to add pretty things. So I don't like spiders. Pretty normal thing to not like spiders. I mean, I know there are those people out there who are like, ooh, spiders are beautiful creatures. They're amazing. And you know, I just love how it feels when they crawl on me. I know spiders are cool to some people. I'm just not one of them. Maybe they are necessary, and maybe most of them are harmless. I still don't like them. I don't like their creepy little hairs, and the fact that they have way too many legs. What are you doing with all of those legs besides making people uneasy? But anyway, I'm adding a ton of flowers to the page and bows on the spider. They are working very hard to try to make this spider look cute. Again, with the watercolors, what's the most beautiful color that we can use? Red, yellow, green, blue, orange. Correct. So I'm going rainbow with the colors. I really want to love this spider. Why is the table shaking? What's happening?
The itsy bitsy spider.
I love how the back legs are like way in the distance. I'm pretty sure they're disproportionately small, but I was just trying to minimize the creepiness here. I did try to look up references for what spiders look like, but every time I looked at the photos, I kept feeling things crawling on me, so I had to stop. If you're new and wondering why I paint on separate pieces of paper instead of directly in the book, it's because I don't want the watercolor to bleed through the page in the book. When I use pencils, pens, acrylic paint sometimes even, I color right in the book. This is not watercolor paper. In fact, it's not even drawing paper. It's just printer paper, so it's really crappy. But honestly, you know, do we need the best, most premium supplies to make some art? No, we don't. I feel like my art doesn't deserve better art supplies. I feel like those are kind of for real artists, not me. Oh! No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But I do kind of like using more casual supplies because I feel like I can be free to just kind of chill and be more focused on having fun with my art rather than all the pressure to create some sort of masterpiece that I'm not gonna create anyway. So anyway, I'm just going along painting. Oh look, there's a bug on my bug. You need to leave. These two prompts that I've done so far are some of my favorite prompts in this entire book. I had so many different ideas for these pages, so I'm kind of sad that I had to choose just one of them and now they're over, but I really did have fun making these two. Here come the shadows, which I'll say right now, they don't make a whole lot of sense. At first they do, but then it starts getting weird. Are the flowers on the wall? Is the spider on the ground? Are they floating? I don't know. I'm just trying not to think about it too much because I start getting lost really fast. Once again, I'm going to use colored pencils to do more of the detail work and bring in some darker shadows just to make it pop a little bit more. I'm sure you can do this with watercolor by itself, but that's not what I'm choosing to do. So I also used a white colored pencil to bring back some of the highlights because I went a little too dark in some areas, so I just wanted to bring back more contrast. It's time to go back to the book. Nah, that's not right. So here I go gluing the pages in. Ooh, you dropped something. And once everyone is moved in and settled, we're done with this page. I like this one. The colors are so bright and vibrant, which makes me really happy, especially compared to the pukey color scheme of the last page. And I really like how the flowers came out, and the spiders is fine too. You know, if all spiders looked like this, I may not mind if they want to pop in and say hi. Okay, so I have one more page to do. I'm gonna flip to the way back of the book to this page. It says create a limitation. Gather a box of art supplies, close your eyes and choose 3 at random. Use only those to complete this page. So here's my box of markers. My eyes are closed. And I'm picking 1, 2, 3 random colors. This is essentially the 3-color challenge if you hadn't already made that connection. So I used those colors as inspiration for my drawing, and I decided to draw a koala. Basically, the gray was solely responsible for this drawing. Even though I'm only using 3 colors, I still wanted to have a good amount of detail so it doesn't look too basic. So I am going to outline this, which black is technically not a color, so it doesn't count. Oh wait, the directions said 3 supplies, not 3 colors. Okay, so technically this was cheating, so I'm just going around with my illegal outline and finishing that up. Let's pause. I really liked this line art. It's about to get ruined, so stick around for that. In case you forgot, these are my 3 colors, gray, an orangey kind of yellow, and salmon-ish. They do bleed right through the paper, but I'll just cover that up on the other side later. For now, I'll just make sure to protect the rest of the book. Now, that swatching that I just did just now, that was the first time I had tested these colors out. So I planned my entire artwork without knowing exactly what the colors looked like, which wasn't very smart. I'm not a potato! And it turns out that this gray is a whole lot darker than I thought it was gonna be. I forgot that these kind of markers are terrible for coloring large areas because it looks like that. So this whole time, I'm just cringing, and he's just looking sadder and sadder. I'm so sorry. I tried to step in and help him, but no, he's gone. For the other colors, I just wanted to do the background, so I just did dots, which was in my mind a lot cooler than it actually is. Initially, I wanted to use watercolors for this design, but I didn't want all 3 pages to be in watercolor for this episode, so I gave markers a chance. Regrets. Also, I just thought it would be way easier to pick out 3 colors of markers instead of 3 watercolor colors. Watercolor color, watercolor color. So I'm not a fan of this page. I think the drawing was really cute, but the coloring just kind of ruined it, if I'm being honest. So I'm debating about redoing this page and using the same drawing and the same colors, but doing it with watercolor instead. I'll put a poll up right now. Let me know if you guys want to see me redo this page in the next episode and see if I can improve it, or if I should just leave him in this state forever. On a happy note, I do like how the tree came out. So that's all I have for you today, but before I go, I do want to show you some Create This Book artwork that has been sent to me recently. These pages are from Mary. I absolutely love this page. It's completely black and white, but it's so well done. And these pages are from Yasmin, who uses tons of color, which of course I love. Look at all that rainbow. It's beautiful. And that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!